So welcome to today's meditation time. I hope that you are in a spot that is comfortable for you, and if not, let's find our way into a comfortable spot. Just allow the body to relax. Allow yourself to just settle. If you're seated, just let those sit bones just anchor you to the spot where you are. If you're lying down, let the back body grow a little heavier and really root you to that spot. And then once you feel that comfortableness come across your body, just allow your eyes to gently close. And let's start off with just a few breaths together. So just a slow, compassionate, deep breath in. And then a slow, just as compassionate, full breath out. And breathing in and breathing out. One more time together. Inhale and exhale. And then I would invite you just to scan the state of how you are in this moment. Paying special attention to any spots within you that feel a little heavy or like you're not really sure what to do with those spots. Maybe they feel a little confused, a little chaotic, a little disturbed within you. So just kind of scan physically from the head to the feet, emotionally around the heart center, into all those tension spots, wherever they sit with you, mentally through your mind, again through the tension spots where your thoughts sometimes linger. And I first want to just validate and name out loud that life is tough sometimes. The paths that we've been asked to walk individually, collectively, are sometimes really challenging. There are a lot of decisions to be made. And sometimes we just try to do our very best, hope for the best. And then be willing, if we have to kind of muddle through whatever impact there is of those challenges, those decisions, those moments. But there is a but. This practice teaches us something very, very different. It does teach us that suffering is part of life, but that life doesn't have to be hard. A meditation practice or a yoga practice or any of these practices that we share together, they don't insulate us from the struggles. They don't protect us from the challenges. But they give us this deep, deep toolbox of how to navigate those things, so that they don't dismantle every bit of peace and health that we've been trying to cultivate. I've recently been talking to someone about just the heaviness of life, the heaviness of decisions and impact of those decisions, the heaviness of some of the things that we bring into our body, whether it's the heaviness of the food that you're eating, the heaviness of the things that your eyes take in across a screen. At some point, this practice is asking us to choose differently. It's not a matter of getting rid of every single thing in your life that you think might be not good for you. It is a matter of consciously living and making choices from that consciousness. Otherwise, when we show up for meditation, it becomes this beautiful 15-minute or so blip on the radar of many, many minutes in the day. But what if it could inform all the others? I gave the example, and this is going to sound a little silly, of a warm glazed donut. If you've ever had a warm glazed donut, you know exactly what I mean. But just think about when you taste that warm glazed donut. You know that there is zero nutritional value in that donut. but it tastes really good as it goes in. And so you make a choice in that moment. Do you go with what you know about the nutritional value of that piece of food, or do you give in to what the senses tell you is really good? And so let's just say that you make the choice. You eat the donut. And this is not a time to bash donuts. It's just the easiest example that I can think of because I've lived it. You eat the donut. It comes across your lips and across your tongue, and even as you're just taking bite after bite, it tastes good. And then about an hour later, that donut is just sitting inside of you. It's a really hard food for our bodies to process. There's no nutritional value for our body to pull from it, so it's got to figure out what to do with the whole donut. And for most of us, it just sits. And over time, parts of it go away and parts of it sit. And over time, maybe a little more goes away and still a little more sits. And it's to the point that it just makes us feel heavy. Life has so many things that are just like that warm glazed donut. There are things that we bring in that our body's fire can process and can pull nutrients from, and then can get rid of all the stuff that doesn't serve us, that doesn't nourish us. But there are many things we bring in through our eyes, through our senses, through our mouth, through our company that we keep, that is all just like that big, warm donut. On the surface, it tastes good. But we know it has no nutritional value for us. There are relationships that would fit into that category. There are things you see on your screen. There are ways that you spend your time. There are people that you're around. And so the question is, do we want to go through life heavy, like we're carrying around a box of donuts inside of us? Or do we want to live a light, peaceful, free life? And this is not saying that tomorrow you need to give up the donuts. It's about saying that from the consciousness of your meditation practice, let's begin to make consciously informed decisions for ourselves. You are still going to have people who push your buttons. You're still going to have people who are unkind to you, who don't have your best interests at heart. They are no more nutritionally good for you than that donut. And so maybe you start to evaluate that intake. And so I'd like for us just to sit for just a few minutes. And I really want to explore over our next several times together this concept of the things that make us heavy and this pathway to living light. So for today, as we sit and we breathe, just be open to whatever thoughts come across your mind, whatever awareness is brought to your attention. What are your donuts? What are the things that you are allowing in that make you heavy and that have no nutritional value for you? Maybe they're physical, maybe they're food and drink and products. Maybe they're relational. Maybe they're situational. Maybe they're how you spend your time. Maybe they're the habits that you kind of fall into a rut doing every day. So let's just sit and breathe and be open to awareness that begins to reveal what are your metaphorical donuts that you're allowing in, that you know are not nourishing you, and that are causing this heaviness that you go through your day, your week, your life carrying. Continue to breathe slow, compassionate breaths. And just be a witness to whatever comes up in your mind. And as you continue to breathe, if it feels comfortable, just bring your hand to heart center. Just let it rest there. Just continue to notice, what are the things, the situations, the intake that makes your heart heavy? And then allowing your hand to come to rest. And whatever it is that has come across your mind's eye, let's see it. Let's be aware of it without judgment. Let's not judge the donut. Let's begin to think about our decisions of the role that the donut plays in our life. When things come in, they have two choices. They come in, they serve their purpose and they go out. Or they come in, they serve no purpose and they sit. What we want in our life, we want to take in are the things that nourish us, that continue this practice even beyond these few minutes of quiet time on a cushion or in a spot on the ground. We want things that keep nourishing us toward lightness. Think about the decisions you'll make in your life from a place of lightness in your heart. Think about the creativity that you will have in the things you want to do when you have lightness in your thoughts. Think about the beautiful, long, healthy life with your family when your physical body experiences lightness as well. So again, it's not a matter of making a list of the things that we're going to get rid of tomorrow. It's just asking us to live consciously and to make choices about what comes in and choosing the things that really do honor the value that each of us represents. What's your donut? Namaste.